Welcome to electronics online classes. Now in this video I will explain the next topic in analog and digital IC applications. Now in this video I will explain the block diagram of op-amp and inverting amplifier, non-inverting amplifier and voltage follower. Now, before going to our actual lecture, so I will give a brief introduction about the last presentation. In the last presentation, we discussed what is meant by an operational amplifier, what are the applications of operational amplifier, what are the advantages of an operational amplifier, and how to use an operational amplifier. These all are discussed in the last video. Now in this video I will explain the block diagram of operational amplifier. I am already explained operational amplifier is also called as a differential amplifier. Why? Because the differential amplifier means it will give the difference output. That means the difference between the two inputs. That is, V0 is nothing but the output voltage is equal to the difference between two input voltages. That is, V0 is equal to V2 minus V1. Okay. Now we will move to the block diagram of an operational amplifier. Okay. So here this is the block diagram of operational amplifier. In this block diagram it has 4 number of stages. Here 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here these are the 4 stages. These all are the differential amplifiers. That means this is one differential amplifier, this is also a differential amplifier, and this is also a differential amplifier, and this is also a differential amplifier. But all differential amplifiers which will perform the different operations in this block diagram. So the first stage, that is the input stage. This input stage is a differential amplifier. It consisting of two inputs. First one is a non-inverting input and another one is inverting input. So non-inverting input is nothing but we will indicating as a plus and inverting input is indicating as a minus. Okay. So here the first stage is a dual input balanced output differential amplifier. Here the dual input balanced output differential amplifier means when we are applying of two inputs, that is V1 and V2. So this stage will also give a two outputs, that is V01 and V02. So that's why it is a balanced input and balanced output differential amplifier. In these first stage, the input, it is a ideal differential amplifier. So that's why the input impedance is very high. Therefore, the gain of the differential amplifier is also high. Next, coming to the second stage of a differential amplifier block diagram. The second stage is the intermediate stage. In intermediate stage, we use a dual input unbalanced output differential amplifier. So dual input unbalanced differential amplifier means when you are applying of two inputs to the differential amplifier, so it will gives only one output. That's why it is a balanced input, means we will applying of two inputs but it will produces only one output. That's why it is unbalanced differential amplifier. Now drives on output of the first stage. Here that means the second stage is derived by the first stage. That means the first stage will give the output to the input to the intermediate stage. Okay, so next one, that it is a direct coupled DC voltage as well above ground level. That means in the intermediate level the DC voltage is also added. Okay, so here the DC voltage, DC means here the signal is like this. So DC means the signal is like this. So this DC level is added in the intermediate stage. Next coming to the third level, that is the level translator or shifting stage. Whatever the DC level is added in the second stage, that DC level is removed in the level shifter stage. That means it will shifting the voltage from DC level to 0 level. And next come to the last stage, that is the output stage. In this output stage increases the output voltage and also raises the current supply capability of op-amp. At the output stage in ideal op-amp, the output resistance is very less. So we already know these things. So in ideal amplifier, the input impedance is very high, the output impedance is very low. Likewise, the differential amplifier will increases the gain of a differential amplifier level by level. Okay, so this is the block diagram of operational amplifier. In this operational amplifier, there are 4 stages. First one is input stage, and another one is intermediate stage, third one is level shifter stage, and finally the last one is the output stage. So these all are the differential amplifiers. That means cascading of these all differential amplifiers to produces a gain. That means increased gain, high gain differential amplifier. That's when op-amp is a high gain differential amplifier. Okay, so at the end of the output, that means at the output stage, we are using a complementary push-pull differential amplifier. Okay, so now we will move to the next one. Operational amplifier has a that means the operational amplifier has two types of feedback circuits. Those feedback circuits are inverting amplifier as well as non-inverting amplifier. So op-amp are not used alone, rather op-amp is connected to passive components. So what are the passive components? Resistors, inductors, capacitors. So those all are the passive components in a feedback circuit. That means when we are taking a feedback component, that component is connected to the op-amp as a feedback. There are two such op-amp circuits. Those feedback circuits are inverting amplifier as well as a non-inverting amplifier. So here the feedback element, passive element is a resistor. Here we are using a two resistors R1 and R2. And next coming to the, so here this is a figure indicating to the inverting configuration. So the difference of an inverting configuration is we are applying a input. We are applying input to this inverting terminal. Here this is a inverting terminal minus. So minus is a inverting terminal. This we are applying to this inverting terminal to the input. So here this is a Vi. Vi is a input. Okay. So for this is inverting terminal. So that's why input is applied to the inverting terminal. Okay, so here the resistor R2, whatever the resistor is there, this is the resistor R2 is connected output terminal, that is 3 is an output terminal, back to this 1, which is 1 terminal number 1. That means whatever the terminal number 3, that is the output, is feedback through this R2 resistor through the terminal number 1. So it is a negative feedback. Why? Because the feedback is connected to the inverting terminal. So that's why it is a negative feedback. So therefore the inverting configuration is also called as a negative feedback amplifier configuration. The terminal 2 is, whatever the terminal 2 is there, here this is a terminal number 2 is grounded and R1 is connected in between terminal 1 and output voltage V1. This is about the circuit. Here this is a inverting configuration. Inverting configuration means we are applying of input to the only inverting terminal, and this inverting configuration is a negative feedback amplifier. So why it is a negative feedback amplifier? Why means the output, that is the terminal number 3 is feedback to the terminal number 1. This terminal number 1 is connected to inverting amplifier. Inverting means negative terminal. So that's why it is a negative feedback amplifier. Next we will find out the gain of a negative feedback amplifier or inverting amplifier or inverting configuration. We already know the gain. What is meant by gain? Gain is nothing but the output voltage, that is V0. The output voltage V0 divided by Vi. It is called as gain. Okay, so the gain in some textbooks it will be represented as A, or in some textbooks it will be represented as a G. Okay, so here the closed loop gain G is defined as G is equal to V0 divided by Vi. Assuming the op amp to be ideal and gain A is very large. Okay, so we already know that it is an ideal operational amplifier. In ideal operational amplifier, the gain is always high, that is infinity. Next coming to the very large, that means the input resistance is also very large. Any differential amplifier, it will produces an output voltage V0. So this output voltage is a difference voltage. This output voltage is a difference voltage, that is V2 minus V1, that is equal to V0. Here A is nothing but gain, V0 being the output voltage. From the result we may conclude that because A is very large, the voltage V1 approaches and ideally equals to V2. Hence, a virtual short circuit appears between the terminal number 1 and terminal number 2. That means whenever the gain of a differential amplifier is very high, then the input voltages, that is V1 and V2, are equal. That means here one concept is there. That concept is called as virtual ground concept. Now what is meant by a virtual ground concept? When we are taking off a V2 is considered as a ground. When we are applying off an input to the V1 terminal and the current flows through V1 and V2 terminals, both are same. That means ground is nothing but V2 is equal to 0. Ground is nothing but V2 is equal to 0. By considering of a virtual ground concept, so therefore the V1 is also automatically 0. So that's why it is called as a virtual ground concept. That means when the current flows in the V2 terminal is equal to 0, automatically the current flows in the V1 terminal is also 0. So that is called as a virtual ground concept. Next we will focus on what is the gain formula. We will find out the gain formula when we are applying of Ohm's law across the resistor R1. All of you know, so what is meant by Ohm's law? Ohm's law is V is equal to IR. So V is equal to I into R. So here when we are applying the current through across the R1 resistor, therefore I1 is equal to, so V1 Vi minus V R1 divided by R1. So that is Vi minus V1 divided by R1. When we are applying of current, applying of an Ohm's law, current across the R1 resistor. When we are considering a virtual ground concept, here V1 equal to 0 and V2 is also 0. So therefore V1 equal to 0, we will substitute in this equation. So V1 minus 0 divided by R1 is equal to Vi divided by R1. This current can't flows through op amp because an ideal op amp draws 0 current. So why? Because we already know this term. So I is inversely proportional to the resistor. That means the current will be increases, the resistance will be decreases. The resistance will be increases, the current will be decreases. So here very in ideal op amp, it has input impedance is very high. So that's why the current in the input terminal is very low. That is 0 current. It flows that I1 will have to flow through R2 to low impedance terminal. So therefore the current flows from R2 to low impedance terminal R3. Therefore the output voltage is equal to V1 minus I2 into R2. We know this. Therefore here V1 is equal to 0. Why? Because we are considering a virtual ground. So virtual, what is meant by virtual ground? When the open loop gain is very high, so then when we are applying of ground terminal to the V2, means V2 is equal to 0, therefore the first terminal voltage is equal to 0. Therefore V1 is equal to V2 equal to 0. The concept is called as a virtual ground concept. So that's why here V1 is equal to 0. Now we will substitute V1 is equal to 0. Therefore 0 minus V1 divided by R1 into R2. Then we have to solve this equation. V1, therefore V0 by Vi is equal to minus R2 by R1. So which is the closed loop gain of the inverting configuration. Okay, so here it is very important formula. So it is V0 is equal, V0 divided by V1 is equal to minus R2 by R1. It is the open loop, closed loop gain of inverting configuration, that is V0 divided by V1 or Vi is equal to R2 divided minus R2 divided by R1. Here the minus is indicating it has a 180 degrees of phase shift. Minus is nothing but it has a 180 degrees of phase shift. Actually, the operational amplifier means when you are applying of an input signal like this, it is an AC signal, it will get an inverted, that means when you are taking as an inverting, so therefore it will be produces an inverting output. But we are applying as input to the non-inverting terminal, so it will give same as input terminal. So minus is indicating 180 degrees of phase shift from input to output. Likewise, we have to calculate the closed loop gain of inverting amplifier. Again, I will tell you. So, the gain of an inverting amplifier is V0 by Vi is equal to minus Rf by R1. So, here this is the gain of a differential, that means negative feedback amplifier gain. Now this is total inverting amplifier configuration. Here Vi is whatever the input we have to apply, that is the input voltage, and here R V1 divided by R1. Here this is whatever the current will flows through the resistor R1, and R2 is also the same current flows from R1 to R2. So therefore V1 divided by R1. Here considering of the virtual ground concept, therefore the terminal 1 is equal to the terminal 2. The voltage at terminal 1 is equal to voltage at terminal 2. Therefore difference is equal to 0. Here Vd is nothing but difference voltage. And likewise the current is also 0 at the terminal 1. So finally the output gain is V0 is equal to minus R2 divided by R1 into V1. This is a gain of a negative feedback differential amplifier. So now we will discuss the non-inverting amplifiers. In inverting amplifier, we are connecting input to the inverting terminal. In non-inverting configuration, we will connect the input to the non-inverting terminal. So here this is a non-inverting terminal. So that's why we are connecting a input Vi to the non-inverting terminal. By using this, we have to simply easily identify non-inverting and inverting. So non-inverting means the input signal is applied to the positive terminal. Inverting means the input signal is applied to the negative terminal. So in the non-inverting configuration, the input signal is applied directly to the positive input terminal of the op-amp, while one terminal of R1 is connected to the ground. So likewise here this is a non-inverting amplifier. So now we will calculate the gain of a non-inverting amplifier. The non-inverting configuration, the closed loop gain is, assuming that the op-amp has infinite gain, and also will take as a virtual ground concept between the two terminals, terminal 1 and terminal 2, and hence the difference input signal is, so here Vid is equal to 0 is nothing but it is a difference between two input terminals. Why it is V2 minus V1? So why? Because V2 is a positive and V1 is a negative. Therefore, the difference voltage is V2 minus V1, that is equal to V0. It is also called as a gain of a differential amplifier. The current through the R1 can be determined as, because of the finite input impedance of the op-amp, the current VI by R1 will flow through the resistor R2. Now, the output voltage can be determined from here. Output voltage V0 is equal to, when we are taking at R2 terminal, therefore VI plus VI divided by R1 into R1. That is equal to, when we are calculating this, we have to find the V0 by VI. So here V0 by VI is the gain of the differential amplifier. Therefore, for non-inverting amplifier, the gain is V0 divided by VI is equal to 1 plus R2 by R1, which is the open loop gain of the non-inverting configuration. In this way, we have to find out the gain of the inverting amplifier as well as non-inverting amplifier. Here, the gain of the non-inverting amplifier is, that is, V0 divided by Vi is equal to minus R2 divided by R1. Here this is gain of a inverting amplifier. For non-inverting amplifier, the gain is V0 divided by Vi is equal to 1 plus R2 divided by R1. These two are very important for your exam point of view. It will ask a question, what are the feedback amplifiers? How many types of feedback amplifiers are there? There are two types of feedback amplifiers. One is inverting amplifier and another one is non-inverting amplifier. The gain of a inverting amplifier is minus R2 by R1. Here minus sign is indicates it has 180 degrees of phase shift to the input voltage. Next, another feedback amplifier is non-inverting amplifier. In non-inverting amplifier, the gain is V0 divided by Vi. So that is 1 plus R2 divided by R1. Okay, so these two are very much important for your exam point of view. One question will ask, explain about the feedback amplifiers. Then we will explain these two amplifiers with gain. Now we will move to the another topic, that is voltage follower. So what is meant by voltage follower? Here I am already told so many number of applications are there for operational amplifier. The operational amplifier will also be used as a voltage follower. What is meant by voltage follower? Here voltage follower means whatever the input we have to apply, the same output will be appear at the output without change of any phase. So that is called as voltage follower. That means here the output is, there is no change to inputs. That means whatever the input we have to apply. For example, if input voltage is 5 volts, therefore the output voltage is also 5 volts. Okay, so likewise there is no change in the phase or amplitude. So it will be same as input voltage is equal to the output voltage. That's why the operational amplifier is also called as a voltage follower. The property of high input impedance is very high. Desirable features of non-inverting configuration. Here, here this is a ideal op-amp equivalent circuit. Okay, so then we make R1 is equal to infinity and R2 is equal to 0 to both the unit gain amplifier shown in figure. The circuit is also known as voltage follower. That means here the input resistance, that is R1 is equal to 0 and R1 is equal to infinity and R2 is equal to 0 to obtain unity gain amplifier. This is known as a voltage follower since the output flows the input. In the ideal case, V0 is equal to Vi, Rn is equal to infinity, Rout equal to 0. The equivalent circuit of the voltage follower is the above diagram. Okay, so these are the topics I covered in this video. Those are block diagram, inverting amplifiers, non-inverting amplifiers and voltage followers. Okay, next video we will discuss about the remaining topics. Thank you.